till your bubbly toes. Feel the love under the sun, watch the love bubble grow. One love, the maximum, so let your love light show. One love, to elevate everybody, everybody now you know. The love bubble give you good vibration. They keep you comfy, comfy when the trouble raining. So look inside and find the deep elation. Now move your happiness across the entire nation. Everybody in the bubble give love, cause everybody in the bubble got love, yeah. The love bubble gonna protect your soul, connecting each and everybody from the young and the old. On top your furnace, on your noggin till your bubbly toes. Feel the love under the sun, watch the love bubble grow. One love, the maximum, so let your love light show. One love, to elevate everybody, everybody now you know. You and I can't afford to be strangers. We got the light of good no matter what be the danger. Angels, I know they follow me around. They're making sure I keep it pure by keeping it safe and sound. I get toned down to the music alive. Forever the melody telling me how to be better than just on time. It's the heat from the light, sun beams in the sky, from the trees to the signs on the street. There's a vibe in my feet. Of course you know they be funky. They're keeping the funky punk alive like I was a monkey. Limb to limb swinging, limb by limb flinging, wind to wind, grin by grin, and they still singing. The love bubble gonna protect your soul, connecting each and everybody from the young and the old. On top the furnace, on your noggin till your bubbly toes. Feel the love under the sun, watch the love bubble grow. One love, the maximum, so let your love light show. One love, to elevate everybody, everybody now you know. The little one, Jab is the big one. Jab is the skinny fat, the heavy and the sick one. Holla back no matter if you're not earth, you're this one. If you're rich or poor, black, white, or Indonesian, a bit of family love to send you on your way. A trickle of the kiss.
Good evening, everyone, and this is Lizzie with Love Bubble, and we are on peopleforpeople.ning.com, and it is Monday, the day we love to be on, because Monday is the start of the week, and there's nothing starting the week good. And what a day! Santos Bonacci and the two girls, and now myself, here we are. I mean, what a Monday. It's been full on, full of goodies, and just like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get. Most definitely, because we even got some treats today with Bonacci and guests, which is really cool. It's wonderful experience to be here with all this amazingness coming true. Indeed, absolutely. So here we are, as you guys and girls know. I always flow from my heart. Because that's the way I like to go. I go with the flow, very much so. So always open to everyone's input, questions, always welcome. Absolutely loved listening to the girls and to Santos. It was very, very, very interesting so far Monday. And we breathe in and breathe out and try and flow into this. And yes, it is amazing because we are amazing. It is amazing because we are here. Yes, I love you, Patty, too, indeed. And we are here, indeed. And we share this love, we share this amazingness, we share the knowledge. And that is what we do. We share our knowledge, we share our love. And that's as much as we can do. Because truly, this is how we move forward. So, healing, yes, my sister was talking about is healing, and it is something that I have been going through quite a lot, up and down, and truly I would not be here, trust me, if it wasn't for the fact that healing is with me at all times. I've experienced so much since I was born. And it's truly been healing that kept me alive. Through healing strokes, Lyme's disease, a variety of things actually that I've been through, or I should say been through me. And really it has been healing that has kept me alive and well. Healing is something that is amazing, but it is something also that is with every single one. It is every single one's ability to do so. So, indeed, everyone has got a ability to be a healer. Everyone has got an ability to be who they truly choose to be. But you are born with that ability to be a healer. And then, yes, there are things that you learn to make your healing better, to make it perfect, so to say, or more efficient. For example, I've been actually going through quite a few ups and downs lately. And truly, believe me, if it wasn't the fact that I was a healer, that I am a healer, I would not be here telling you this today. Because for more than once I've been told lately, how close call this all has been. So that to me shows how important healing has been. Also, it's important for people to recognize that within themselves. Now, some people ask me sometimes, is healing something that you need to believe in for it to work? No, you do not need to believe in healing for healing to happen. You don't need to believe in it, and you don't actually, it's not something that you need to believe for someone to do a healing on you, for example. You can go to a healer without ever having had any healing, not even believing or being sort of very dubious about it. Yes, very skeptical about it, and it happens. But also you can go to a healer and it doesn't seem to happen. Yeah, or more than one healer, and it just doesn't seem to happen. So why does these things sometimes happen? Well, it has got a variety of reasons, actually. Very big variety of reasons, actually, why sometimes healing can or cannot happen. It's very personal sometimes. Sometimes has to do with belief systems. Sometimes has to do with belief systems that you know of, and sometimes belief systems that you are aware of, and sometimes with belief systems that you have forgotten. So, right, I have to, hold on 1 second. So yes, I've done healing on some people that truly did not believe in healing at all. And what happened was, they got healed. And they really truly did not believe. Hold on. And they truly didn't believe, but it was in their hour of need, in their hour of the mostest need. Their life was in true dangers. And so it did not matter whether they believed in it or not. At that point in time, they were very accepting of it, but even that wouldn't have mattered. I'll go into it a bit more. Okay, so even though this particular person, I will not mention names because I would not want to. This particular person had a very dangerous situation in its life, but it really truly did not believe in healing. He used to call it a mumbo jumbo. And, that was the kindest word ever actually he called it. But he was in a very difficult situation. Now, I was looking after him because he had no one else that would be able to do such thing. So I did healing. I did healing because I asked his higher self if it was okay. His higher self actually was very welcoming of this healing. So I went on to start doing healing and prayers. So I was at this hospital doing healing every other day. And for quite a long time I worked very hard on prayer, on working on this healing, because it was a very difficult case. And still this person did not believe. He was strongly in the belief that we are just a body, spirit, soul, that's rubbish. It was very much against all of that sort of thing. But at the this point in time it was to be alive or not to be alive sort of thing. So I did what I did. And the healing brought into this space was actually quite great. The energy that filled the space in the hospital was so great that it healed him and others that allowed it into their space. Now sometimes it's allowance and sometimes it is something that is meant to be. Other times, if it's not meant to be, it's just not going to happen. So as a channel, yes, because we healers are a channel of energy, because we are energy. So we're conduits, of this energy that flows through our true cosmos. And it's quite amazing because you literally feel the energy come through you, and it comes in through you, fills you up, goes out through your feet, fills you back up. So suddenly you are getting energy coming at you from all spaces, yes, and then it goes outward, out from you, into and around anything that it is allowed to permeate. Now, when this happens, it embraces, it's called love, it's healing, it's called love too. And it permeates everything that is at that moment in time willing or able to accept. So as you're doing that, Lizzie, how to get rid of the energy you release? You might not take it in. If I understand the question, Gitta, when the energy comes in and I'm sharing it out towards the recipient, the people or animals or plants, or I also am receiving of energy. At the end, any extra energy that is accumulated often gets returned into Mother Earth. Through the feet you ground it into and you allow it to flow, so it doesn't form pockets of energy, doesn't block the channel. I hope that answers the question, Gita, because the channel that we are needs to be always clear. So when you do healing, you are doing healing, you are receiving healing also. But also at the end, you have to clear the channel, because if you are channeling, you are that. It is a conduit, and like any, if you imagine a wire, a conduit, you need to keep it always clear. Coming in rain can have effect on other people. So I think taking in bad energy can make you sick, sad, or something. Well, it depends, because the energy when I'm doing that, for example, the energy that is coming in is not from the room. And what is going outwards is a loving, healing energy. So when I was in that hospital, in that ward that was intensive care, everyone that was there that I knew and did not know, did not even notice because my focus was only on a person. But all the other ones got energy as well. All the other ones got healing too. And only over 2 months after of doing continuous energy healing, then I started having people coming to me, hugging me and saying thank you. Because of the healing that was being received by all of their family members. So yes, but you always clear the channel because healing is something that I do as a channel, yes, and you do it as a channel. I am not a god. I am a channel, and the energy of oneness, of love, flows through me. Yeah, it comes in through me and outward. Yeah, it emanates through me like I'm a channel. Yes, so I'm just helping channel the energy. So it is my love that allows for that to happen. It doesn't mean, for example, that I can't be ill and do that. It means that obviously it depends on what levels, on many things. But at that time I was okay, and I was actually quite strong and strong enough to actually have affected quite a lot of people. I hope that answered your question, Gita. When people talking for the first time, did that help, Gita? That question? Was that more or less what you were asking? And indeed, after a while, yeah, yes, anytime, Gita, you want to talk to me, you're very welcome. Energy is amazing because we are energy, and sometimes we can even being good and being healers, we can help others, but also need others to help us. Yes, some of the best energy healers that I've known or known of also have to go somewhere, someone, when they need healing. Not that you can't do it yourself, you can. But it depends sometimes on many things. It is sometimes good for an energy healer to have another energy healer to heal you, because it just does. It's just sometimes the way it works. Saying that, yes, we all have the ability to do self-healing, the same as we'll have the ability to help others and to heal others. This is something that we are, whether we realize it or not. When I was at this hospital, and most of you know, hospitals, this is one of the things that normally is not acceptable, is the healers and things that are outside of their comfort zone. But after a while, doctors and nurses alike, noticing what I was doing, they were quite impressed. or because they felt the energy coming in through me. I wasn't doing anything outrageously that you would have noticed. Mostly what you would have noticed would be me coming in. I would wash my hands, say hello to everyone. I would sit down. I would do the things that I do, but mostly the healing was done very quietly, either sitting down or standing up. Sometimes just sitting there very quietly. No one would have known any differently. But also I did a lot of reading and singing because singing is actually quite important. And if you ever been into a healing session that is spiritual healing, you will see that first, to bring the spiritual side of things, they bring joy into the room, and often joy into the room. You probably won't see that because normally that gets done prior to anyone coming into the room. But you bring joy into the room by first you cleansing the room. You cleansing the room, and I personally used to do that as well. That's how one of the things that I learned from my grandma was actually you sing to a room. You sing to the room because you're clearing the space in the room. So you sing to the room because you're clearing the space, and when you clear the space, you also are bringing into the room this most beautiful vibration. And if it's the right singing, it has to be uplifting, loving, always uplifting, because healing, especially in this kind of sense, has to come from an uplifting, loving way. Anything that is to perform, anyone that has to perform healing has to come from the heart first. And so you work from the heart always. So you are this channel, okay? And you are doing these things. You're cleansing the room, you're cleansing your space, you're cleansing the self. And you allow for the energy to come in, And you're doing all of this. But before you direct energy to anyone, you always touch your heart. You gently touch your heart. You touch the heart, so you become aware of the heart center. So you touch your heart. So all the energy that suddenly is coming, rushing through you, suddenly becomes love awareness. And because it becomes love awareness, suddenly it flows through the heart center. And when it goes through you from your hands, then it is heart-centered energy. So when you do that, it is heart-centered, beautiful energy. It's one of these amazing things that energy is love. It is all and everything that is you. Now, you sometimes say, well, there's positive, there's negative. You shouldn't, should you help people if they're positive or negative? Now, healing is healing. If someone comes to you and needs healing, you perform healing. Now, the greater, um, something that is beyond you has a channel, may choose for the healing on to happen or not to happen, but that sometimes is beyond you. Yes, so you are doing the best you can, and if that person doesn't get totally healed, it's not you are short or on your healing, or the person is something bad with that person, or it doesn't, or is not deserving. Sometimes the person might believe it's not deserving, and that could actually be one of the stoppages. Uh, uh, many things can uh, um, be what stops healing, but it would never be a punishment. You never say, that person doesn't receive healing because it's being punished. It doesn't work like that, okay? So it can be, it's a religious act, something that has affected that person, a belief system, as they were young, and they believed and were told, for example, that they were bad, and that to get to heaven they need to be punished in some sort of way, and that the disease is something that will heal them, and then their soul will get to heaven. Believe it or not, some people will actually go through that, thinking, yes, it's the karma part of things, and they need that disease or they need that ailment that is helping them through that karmatic way to get to a heaven somewhere. A God would never do that. A God, oneness, love, would never do that. A God, when I say a God, between brackets, I'm doing with my fingers. A God, a loving creator would never do that, okay? So many gods that have existed that were not gods, they were seen as gods, could do that because they were different entities seen as gods, accepted as gods. That's a totally different story again, which I'll leave for another time, but in the old days people would have seen it that way. But so yes, many belief systems can hold people back from receiving healing, and sometimes it's knowingly, sometimes it's unknowingly. And sometimes people really think, I'm ready, I'm here, I accept it, and they think they can overcome that. But it is only until you actually clear all that system, all the conditioning layers that will actually go, and then you're an open channel to receiving. Because as a channel, as a healing channel, everyone is a healing channel, but also a receiving channel, okay? So if you have blockages, as a healer you can't give, and if you have blockages as a receiver, so someone who needs the healing, you want to receive as well. So it can be something just as simple as that. A belief system that creates a blockage depends where you are. But knowingly you're saying, yes, I'm here. Yes, I want this, because you do. Yes, you want to get healed. Yes, you are ready. But deep, very deep seated inside of you, there is something holding you back. Yes, you can do something about that. And you do something about that by scrolling back. Yes, in your Akashic record. And you scroll back in your Akashic record to find where exactly is that clip, in between brackets, that clip holding onto a memory system that is holding you there. Okay, so something that has been put into you, a belief system, and that you have taken on to you, and at this moment in time, even if you may have forgotten it or believed that you have discarded it, it is still imprinted into your Akashic record. And at that point in time, you need to clear it. It's actually a lot easier than it seems to. You can clear it very easily once you become aware. Once you become aware, you clear, release, clear, release, clear, release it, and you clear, release, clear, release, and clear, release it again, and you wipe it, and you wipe it, and you wipe it, and you wipe it, 3 times over always. But it is doable, and it is something that anyone can do for themselves. But you do have to take away these onion layers. It's very important to take away the onion layers of what has been done, because we all have them. Yeah, we all have them, and they come in a variety of ways. It's actually quite interesting how strong conditioning is, because this chap, as I started in the beginning, he had so much conditioning. He truly thought, he didn't believe, but he was just scared of believing. Yeah. The conditioning behaves in fear. Yeah, it's a fear. You're scared of embracing it. You're scared of accepting it. So you say you don't believe it. Okay. So you say you don't believe it. You're pushing it. Yeah, you're pushing it away from you. So he was pushing it away, but at this point, he was pushing it away, but there was one thing that was kind of amazing, was that his higher self decided to embrace it. And as it embraced it, he actually started to get better. And he and others that were around him were already taking it in. So did the doctors, and so did the nurses. They actually, one of the doctor's rooms was made available for me to go and help the doctors and the nurses do healing on them, because I used to spend all day at the hospital. So I did, spend quite a fair bit of time in the doctor's room, helping the doctors and nurses, which is actually very unusual for something like that to happen. But because they actually saw what was happening, they seen someone that was given as, a few hours left. And then a total reversal, that I was told 99.9% of people in his position would have not have made it. Today, he's healthier than I am. in many ways. He's incredibly strong, and he leads a wonderful, he can do whatever he chooses to do. So I think it's kind of quite amazing. And this is something that anyone can do, really. We all have the ability, so we all can learn. You learn to be a painter, you learn to be a musician, you learn to be a healer, you learn to be. Now it's levels, different levels of what you learn and how strong you become at it. That's obviously a different thing, because I can learn to be a painter, but will I be a Rembrandt or a Renoir or something like that? Well, maybe. Or maybe I'd just be Lizzie and, do beautiful flowers and stuff like that. But you see, everyone will have their own levels of excellency, okay? But doesn't mean you cannot be, yeah? Because everyone can be. Everyone is all possibilities. So it depends on how much to embrace the all possibilities, and how deep is your love. Truly, how deep is your love? Because the healing always should be from the heart. Yes. So how deep is your love is how deep is your healing. Yes. I again am here and talking to you because I have done a lot of self-healing. Otherwise I would not be here speaking to you today. Oh, Gaz made a song right out of my words. Yes. How deep is your love? Is your love? How deep is your love? But it is true. It is true. We all love beings, and we all have this wonderful, absolutely wonderful abilities. Yes. And brothers and sisters, you are the ones you're looking for, yeah. Instead of giving power away, take the power within yourself, yes, and learn, because you can learn. I'm still learning, even though I have been for many years been doing healing. I'm still learning. I'm still here learning, and as I learn, I also share, yeah. Because it is all an important thing, the learning and the sharing, the taking, yeah, the giving and receiving, yeah, all of that is important for the balance, yes. It is very, very important. Don't think that you can only give without receiving, or you can only receive without giving. Because if you do one or the other, it is out of balance. Everything needs a balance, yes. Welcome, Emily Vargas. That's a nice name. Welcome to People for People, Emily. And yes, always think of yin and yang. Always think of give, receive. Always think of how important it is to embrace all sides of you. Um, Love is all embracing, yes? Love embraces all. It doesn't leave any of you behind, yeah? It doesn't send any of you to hell and take only some to heaven. Love brings all in a great embrace, yes? It doesn't say, well, there's a chosen few and the rest stay behind. No, love is all embracing. That is why it is love. Yes, it's non-judgmental, um, and it is joy, and it is beautiful. When you look at what love is, you have no words to explain that love. But you have something that is a gauge for it, and that is your heart. And your heart is a gauge for that love. You may not have words that truly explain love, but you have the gauge of your heart, and your heart will always truly say that is love, and that is good, and good is within that. Yes, indeed, Gita. How deep is your love? How deep is your love? Don't make me sing, you beautiful people. My voice is at the moment not quite there. And if my sister Patty was still here, she'd say I'm a rock and roll girl. But yes, love is what the cosmos, what you and me are made of. I once had this vision of us arriving to this plane. And sometimes I have these amazing visions and dreams. And the vision was of us arriving to this plane in this most amazing way. And we arrived to the plane, to this earth. Yes, and we arrived like this most beautiful sparkly dust, a bit like stars, but it was like light beings, yes. We arrived pure and beautiful, and we were beautiful love beings, and we were shining, and this amazingness that we were had no shadows. We were beautiful and all embracive. And at that point, we did not need a body because we were these amazing love beings. And we chose then to here in this plane experience more and more and solidified into bodies. Yes, absolutely, Angel. And then look what happened to us. We solidified into body, and it became harder and harder to remember who we are. Yes, so we entered into forgettingness. Yes, and in the body, everything became three-dimensional. Yes, indeed. Angel, you'd know what I'm speaking of, I think. And because we became matter, yeah, became matter and solidified, we could experience certain things then, not others, yeah. But then we were in this body of experience. But we never lost our beauty, we never lost our love, and we are gaining it again back. I believe now is a time, which is a very special time we are going through, which the remembrance is happening to us all, which means day by day, this remembering is being triggered within our DNA. And so this is why we all gravitate towards each other and trying to find who we are by speaking of these things, by sharing these things, by experiencing, because we are trying to find the remembrance of who we truly are. And we are at this point in time doing all of this because we are here for this reason of remembrance, and it is the time of remembrance. So it is happening to all and for all, because love is all embracing and is not going to leave anyone behind. We all are experiencing it, everyone at their level that they are at, and because we are all at different levels, not better or worse, yeah, but we are all at different levels, so we all learn and we all move forward at that same rate. It's really actually very beautiful, very humbling, and I just absolutely it's just it's just amazing. Okay, so any questions at all going here? Hold on, I'm trying to just going to see. Oh. It's the water, I told you. Okay. Yes, I was going to actually have some water. But we do have, we have mostly water, and we are water, crystalline beings, and we are spirit soul. And actually, as you mentioned, the water, yeah, if you imagine a jug of water, yeah, and a glass, and the jug of water is filled, yeah, and you pick up the glass, which is your body, yes, so the jug of water is you, yeah, and you pour yourself into the glass, yeah, which is your body, yeah, so you arrive, yeah, it's you, all of you, the jug of water and the water, and you pour yourself into the glass, yeah. So you pour your soul spirit into the glass and you fill it up, all the way up, yeah. But what happens is, yeah, when you do fill the glass up, yeah, inside this jug of water, there's always a little bit of water, yeah, which is your higher self, yeah. So that higher self is always in contact with you, and it's always out there. So you can always ask your higher self and your Akashic records for anything you need to know. So I have been in outer body, in a spirit world situation where I was with someone who's very dear to me, who is in spirit now. And I was with him in this most amazing place. The colors were amazing, absolutely amazing. And so I was outer body, alive but outer body. He in spirit, alive but in spirit, yeah, because you never die, yes. But he has died here in this plane. And I so love him, and so I was so happy to be with him on the other side. And as we were sitting down in this amazing garden, what happened was this spirit dressed in this cloak with a hood came and picked me up, and my brother said, it's okay, go with him, he wants to show you something. I was a bit reluctant because I did not want to leave my brother, but I did go. So I went, and he took me to what looked like a building. But know that all of this, it looked like a building, but this is spirit realm, okay? So it looked like a building, like a living building, yeah, energy building. And there were people sitting, reading books, energy books. And he took me in, and it was like a biggest library you can imagine, where every time you walk into a hallway, all you see is energy books going to in front of you, like a hallway that never ends and upwards, yes, and hallways coming, other hallways that come from there, and again and again and again continuously. So from all of those energetic books, some were shining more than others. Of those I could read, he said. Of the other ones, I could not at that point in time. So any of those books that I wanted to read, all I wanted to do was reach out and they would come to me. I could sit down and read them or stand up and read them. I was there for a while, and I would pick up these books and I would open them and I would read them, but not like you read a book here. The book would open up and the information would get absorbed into you in an abyss of time. It's actually really amazing. And as I'm explaining this to you, words are not enough to explain everything that I've experienced. But it was the most amazing experience. So I was there for a time, and I did read quite amazing stuff. And I did take quite a lot of amazing information in. I can visit anytime I want to, he said, as he took me back to in the garden by the lake. So he left and left me with my beloved one. And as we sat there, quietly smiling gently at each other, I knew how true this was. and how beautiful this truly, truly was. And how humbling this experience was. So, yes, it's an amazing experience to share with you all. Okay, hold on a second, I've got a question here. Question for Lizzie. While lucid dreaming, to make a conscious decision to take control of the dream, is it possible for a dark entity to take control of the dreaming and take you on a journey you don't wish to go? Well, not really. Not really. It can be perceived like that. But you are always in control of yourself. No one can really take you on a journey if you don't wish to go. If it starts to happen, you can always stop it. Yeah, you can always be stronger than that. It can happen that you find yourself in a position like that. If you do find yourself in a position like that, know that you can always call upon love, and that you can always call upon who you are, the power of you. Yeah, and no one can overpower that power of you. So I hope, guys, that answers the question. I don't know who asked for the question. Who asked that question? May I ask, Cass? But yes, it's a good question. But yeah, when you're on a lucid dream, when you're on lucid dream, when you're on a lucid dream, the dream is yours. Yes, it is your domain. Yes. If you remember that, you know that is your domain. In your domain, you are the power that be. Yeah. Even if someone comes into your domain and looks very strong, very powerful, it is and always will be your domain. They cannot come in and take power of you. Yes. If it feels they're doing that, you can always ask your power back from within. Yes, practice good boundaries even in dream state. Absolutely, Jerry. It is your domain. You can actually overpower them and send them back at fast speed. It is always your domain. Always remember that. When you do outer body experience, you're always connected to your body. No one can take that space. But you need to always be aware to protect yourself. If you're doing outer body and you are doing it with awareness. So you always protect yourself. You always create a bubble of protection. If you're doing out of body and it's happening without you doing it in awareness, then it is already, you are already protected. It happens, the whole thing happens in a protective sort of way. Then you don't have to do anything, but knowing that you are sovereign of yourself. You are in your domain always. Yes, in your dream state, even when you are out of body, it is always you that are in power. It is your domain. When I was a child, I was out of body all the time. I used to be able to fall asleep, come out of body, be facing down on the ceiling, facing down, looking at my body before I would take off. And I knew my body was protected. You could see the protection around the body. Night, Red. Thank you for being here with me. And rest well, my brother. And yes, when you do the outer body, without you doing it on purpose to be out of body, you're always already protected. What happens is when you're actually trying to do out of body on purpose, then you need to protect yourself, because then you are almost pushing it. Yes, but we can talk about this on a different time. If requested, I can try and cover this at a deeper level. So we are all very amazing. We are truly. And as always, it's a pleasure to be here with all of you. So thank you, Angel. Thank you, Angelus, Barbara, Diana, Gita, John, Laws, Neo, Gaz, Troy, Jerry. Thank you, Red. Thank you all that are in chat room and all that are not in chat room but are listening. Thank you for all the contributions of everyone in chat room. It's always wonderful. Love listening and reading to all of you brothers and sisters that are listening to me. It's a wonderful sharing. Always love Gita. You are always come with a great sharing, and Angel as well. Always cuddles going your way. And lots of healing too. Always from the heart, dearest brother. This is Lizzie, a love bubble with peopleforpeople.ning.com on Monday. And be with me next Wednesday at 8 o'clock on Imagine. Much love to you all.
The love bubble gonna protect us soul, connecting each and everybody from the young and the old. On top the permits on your noggin till your bubbly toes. Feel the love under the sun, watch the love bubble grow. I love the maximum, so let your love light show. I love to elevate everybody now you know. The love bubble give you good vibration. They keep you comfy when the trouble raining. So look inside and find the deep elation. Now move your happiness across the entire nation. Everybody in the bubble give love, cause everybody in the bubble got love, yeah. The love bubble gonna protect your soul, connecting each and everybody from the young and the old. On top your permits on your noggin till your bubbly toes. Feel maximum, so let your love light show. One love to elevate everybody now you know. You and I can't afford to be strangers. We got the light of good no matter what be the danger. Angels, I know they follow me around. They're making sure I keep it pure by keeping it safe and sound. I get toned down to the music alive. Forever the melody telling me how to be better than just on time. It's the heat from the lights, sunbeams in the sky, from the trees to the signs on the street. They survive in my feet. Of course you know they be funky. They're keeping the funky punk alive like I was a monkey. Limb to limb swinging, limb by limb flinging, wind to wind, grin by grin, and they still singing. The love bubble gonna protect your soul, connecting each and everybody from the young and the old. On top the burners on your noggin to your bubbly toes. Feel the love under the sun, watch the love bubble grow. One love, the maximum, so let your love light show. One love to elevate everybody now you know.
Jah is the little one, Jah is the big one.